This lesson is all about using a protractor and measuring specific types of angles. I have put a protractor on my screen. This is a half circle protractor. Sometimes it will be a whole circle protractor, but for the most part we'll be talking about using a half circle protractor. The protractor has numbers along the inside and along the outside. And you can see that it also has a baseline right here, and that goes from 0 to 180. The numbers we will use depend upon the direction of the angle and the size of the angle. So if I have an angle that was facing this direction, what I would do is move my protractor down onto the angle. The vertex is where both rays of our angle meet, so right here in this section, that needs to go right in the middle, and sometimes there's a little circle or dot right there. You can see I have the bottom or the base of my angle along this horizontal line of the protractor, so it's setting on 0. The direction of my angle is facing the right. So I will be using the inside tract of numbers. Now you can see both directions have a 90 on the outside and a 90 on the inside. That's because an angle that is 90 degrees goes straight up and down from the base of our protractor. So if I'm going to measure this angle, this is just on my software here. We wouldn't have it when we have our real protractors, but this is to show you how it works. If I go right over here, my angle is just a little bit larger than 90 degrees, and my reading shows 90 degrees. If I have another angle, and I'm going to have it face the same direction, I bring my protractor I move my protractor up to the vertex, and I need to make sure that my line is on 0, so I'm going to attempt to move it here. As close as I can. And now I can see that my angle facing this direction, I'm going to be using the inside numbers because this is smaller than this angle, which measured at 90 degrees. So I'm going to use the inside track, and if I use my handy helper here, I can see that it is almost 40 degrees or about 38 degrees. There's no way that this angle could be 140 degrees because it is not larger than our angle right here, which is 90. And that's kind of always what we use to determine, is it a smaller angle or a larger angle. We'll do one more, and I'll face it the other direction. So if I move my protractor and try to get it on the base, right at the vertex, kind of as best as I can, pretending I had a nice straight line. Now if we see our 90 degrees right here, and this angle is facing this direction, it looks like it's going to be larger than 90 degrees or an obtuse angle. So when I go to measure my angle, this isn't working so well. I need to start over here. Does this look like it'll be 45 degrees? I don't think so. We're going to ignore what it says in the middle. We're not going to look at this part, but we're going to look and see where the angle measures out here outside of 90 degrees. I'd say it's almost 133. So this angle we said was 38 because it's smaller than a right angle, which is 90 degrees. This one, because we start over here and go this direction, it's about 133 degrees. Thing about the protractor is you always have to remember to put the base along the base of the angle, make sure the center is in the vertex, and think about your 90 degrees rule. This next page talks, I have some angles. This is angle ABC. This is angle EFG. This is angle BCD, and this is angle NOP. Now right here, right here, right here, and right here, the middle letter is our vertex, and that's where we will be making sure we place our protractor. So if I get my protractor out, and I move this to the vertex, pause the video and take a guess. Where do you think that this angle is going to measure? If you said this angle measures about 61 degrees, you are correct. My base angle is right here going horizontally on the 0. I look up and I think, wow, is this as big as 90? It isn't. It's an acute angle, so then I'm going to use the inside track. It is less. Here is where I'm going to see, and it's about 61 degrees. Moving on to the next angle. I'm going to put it right here on the vertex where the rays meet, making sure it's right on 0. Again, here's my 90 degrees. Is this bigger or larger? It looks smaller. So I'm going to measure from 0 all the way using the inside track. This angle measures about 30 degrees. Moving on to our next angle. What would you guess this is? I bet if you guessed 90 degrees, you would be correct. From 0 all the way to here is 90. Moving on to our last angle, putting it right on the vertex. Now, here's 90. If I start over here and work all the way over, is this angle going to measure about 30 degrees, or is it bigger than 90? If you said bigger than 90 and measures at about 150, you are correct. Here's our quiz. So you need to stop the movie, get out your journal, label it question 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the questions, look at the answers, go back if you need to, but put down the answers, and then take the quiz.